It's foggy in San Francisco, so let's head to the sunny side.
Grab your coat and get your hat. If you worry on the doorstep, just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Keep your gait a bit pat, and your troubles with no slow step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street.
We got a good show for you today. The first show of a 65 show series. Live shows, 15-minute long shows. We got the Queen of the World. We got Little Man Under the Arm with Dr. Breath Mystery Theater. We got the first episode of History of Comedy by Leon Martell. SF Comedy, My Face, and the premiere of the first episodes of Retrospection.
I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worry on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street.
I am so happy to be here. This is a dream of my life, to be doing a show about everything I've been doing for the last 40 years. Funny wise, that was Lori Amat, and musically supported in full by Mr. J. Raul Brody. Yeah. Okay. This is comedy show, so let's get to the Queen of the World. Hi, Queen.
How are you?
I'm good. Do you have a joke for us today?
Yes, I do. What jiggles in the sky?
I don't know. What jiggles in the sky?
A jellycopter.
She's the best. It's always funny. It's a little bit away. First, Dr. Breath Mystery Theater, Little Man Under the Arm, first video in the Dr. Breath Mystery Theater playlist on Sunnyside YouTube. And it's the first one that we're going to watch right now for the first show.
Well, Doctor, I think what we've got in there is a broken Flannex tube. Now, we'll probably have to go into some suck modules and pull most of that out of there.
I think we can get a lot of pus out of there. Put it in a Colonel Sanders bucket.
Excuse me,
That
doctor.
does not-
Doctor, I don't want to interrupt your conference or anything, but the nurse said it was okay to come in. We had an appointment.
Oh, Lavinia sent you in.
Yeah, right.
Oh, good. Sit right down. I'll be with you in a moment. I just want to get cleaned up. Now, what seems to be the problem?
Well, doctor, I have a little man under my arm.
Well, let's have a look.
Yes, that's a little man.
How long have you had this condition?
Well, since birth, actually, but in the last month or so, he's been moving in furniture, and I thought it was time to see a doctor about it.
Well, what sort of tenant is he?
Oh, he's a rent-paying tenant, first of the month, on the dot, very precise. He has been paying with little checks about that big, but one of them bounced, so I've been insisting on cash ever since.
Do you wash in that area with a high detergent soap?
No. He cleans that area himself. He's very clean, very conscientious. I have no complaints there at all.
Would you take off your clothes, please?
I think I should tell you, Doctor, he's afraid of the dark. He sleeps at night with the refrigerator door wide open.
Can I take off my clothes?
I'm going to take a couple of pictures for a medical journal.
Wait. That's a camera? He doesn't like cameras. He thinks they steal his soul. If he were to wake up and have his picture taken, I don't know what he'd do.
We're the doctors. You have to do what we say.
Well, all right, but if he wakes up, I won't answer for the consequences.
There's once and two.
Doctor, the flash is waking him up. I knew this had happened. His little eyes are opening. What the goddamn hell? He woke up and he's mad. Look out, he's got a gun! Bang! I'll see if I can get him to bang! I've been trying to keep him turned around. Oh, God. Let's go, you're too strong. Look out! Bang! 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 How are we going to swap this? Bang! 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 One more shot, the big guy gets it. You better throw down your guns. He means what he says.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean what I say. No funny stuff for 5 minutes. You little guy, you're coming with me. You're a hostage.
Okay, I understand.
Doctor, you did it. You killed him.
That's what we're here for.
Why don't you guys take the rest of the day off and I'll treat you both to a game of golf.
That's a good idea. I'll go get my club. What's your handicap?
Well, I have a bogey under my arm.
Man, that was just fun. It was just, we were doing all these shows. One year around that time, we did more shows than there were days in the year because we do like 5 shows in an afternoon past the hat at Fisherman's Wharf right back there. But we were just doing the shows, and KQED, Lonnie Ding, producer, just said, hey, you do some sketches on the stage and we'll do it. And it was great. And we should have done more of that. We should have done right then. We should have said, hey, we're writing like a play a week. So let's just do that. Like every month, let's do it, or every 2 weeks or every week. Just go for it. Because it was so cheap. But then we got, those are other stories as we went down the road of showbiz, which is never boring. That's what's great about that. Okay, now Leon Martell, this is a new series, comedy series, 90 seconds to 2 minutes. We think this is a sweet spot. And this is a history comedy. And this is beginnings. So let's go over there and see this.
The history of comedy. Beginnings.
Anthropologists have determined that all cultures have comedy, so we can reason 2 things. A, it must have some value, and B, it must have started in prehistory, in the days when people sat around that newly developed device, the campfire, and tried to determine how to make their crummy lives better. Looking at what comedy does, anthropologists determined that from its prehistoric origins, comedy is taking an accepted idea and looking at it from a different angle, standing it on its head. The audience then, surprised at what they see, will come to a new realization and expel vocal gas, known as a laugh. Comedy can also involve integrating 2 unrelated ideas for a new conclusion. For example, there's a new restaurant in town called Karma. There's no menu, you get what you deserve. That line's not from the prehistoric period, but since writing hadn't been invented yet, we have no prehistoric examples. If, in prehistoric days, this comedic new perspective helped improve life, the comedian would be celebrated. If it didn't, they might be beaten with clubs and run out of the village. Some things never change.
Okay, that was really fun to do. Leon did the voice and wrote the stuff, and using Runway, Gen 2 and Runway to make those videos. And it's just weird stuff. I mean, the caveman, I just said, caveman, just take caveman. And then it came up and that looked pretty good. And then some kind of weird command, and there's clowns with no heads. This AI text generation into video is really interesting. Also, the music on that is Andy Paley. He's does music for SpongeBob, does music for SpongeBob SquarePants and a whole lot of other stuff. And a long time ago, I said, "Hey, do you have stuff around like that? Because he sells all this stuff to everybody, And he said that you're not selling or you're not using." And I bugged him for years, and then he sent me he sent me a CD with like 65 clips, and maybe more. Maybe there was like 75. I don't know. So I'm using them for all the new stuff because he gave me all sorts of stuff like that. You know, what's that? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. We have to keep going because I really want to keep the show around the 15-minute level. So next up is SF Comedy. This is a playlist that's on Sunnyside YouTube. All the videos we show you can see up there. And I let the work speak for itself.
This is my face. This is my face happy. This is my face sad. This is my face next to a banana. This is my face next to a banana, lemon, and a grapefruit. This is my face in the shade. This is my face in the sun. This is my face with a book. This is my face with many books. This is my face with many books and a Jimi Hendrix CD. Thank you. I hope this tape has helped you get better acquainted with my face.
Yeah. So SF Comedy was a collective that started as a media class, and then it just got all sorts of people and everybody wrote everything, everybody produced everything, everybody shot everything, and everybody acted. Everybody had to do everything. So it's like great. And it was Wired Magazine, 1999. We're mentioned as a place to see comedy on the web because every Tuesday we put up a spot. And go look at the playlist on YouTube. It's evergreen funny, and it was really fun to do. And there's some more actually that I didn't dig into that we'll post at some time. But let's see what we have next. I'm addicted to TikTok. I watch at least 2 hours every night. And the reason is because it's not boring ever. It's like show business in your life, but it's immediate. And every day I'm going to say something about TikTok that has been good for me, but only one thing a day. So we gotta go back there and keep going. So this is. Now I got to come back. No, I need to be there. This is so fun. Running this little, I can do this because the switcher now is cheap. Used to be, cost way too much money for me to be able to switch around in here. So this is Retrospections with Jim Turner, Mark Feit, and Sarah Weed. And all fantastic actors, but this is scripts they're doing. We do the Zoom shoot during COVID but the scripts were from improvs that Mark and Jim did on Instagram, like these 45-minute things. And so the scripts we have 13 shot for the 13 weeks of the series we're going, and there's enough for 13 more for scripts, and on and on and on, because they're just fantastic new characters, but it's basically improv. And so that's what I'm just very excited about, the fact that comedy comes from trying stuff and develops in all sorts of ways. And okay, enough pontificating, Bill. Let's get to Retrospections, episode 1.
How long have you guys been in the music business?
Thank you for that question. My name is Roger Goodstone. I have been a music manager in Hollywood, California for 43 years, coming up in April. I have done everything: managing, road managing, managing, the phone calls. I have made the phone calls, and 24/7 has been with me for a whole lot of those calls.
That's right, Roger. I've been with you probably 30 of those years, 30 of your years. I've been a part of it, man. And before that, I did various other activities in the music business and otherwise. We've covered a lot of ground. We're professionals. We have a lot of stories to tell, mostly about people in the music biz. My God, have we seen some sights, Roger? And not always pleasant sights.
Oh, we have seen some unpleasant sights.
Yeah, I can't even count how many of our tour vans caught fire.
And when you say fire, you don't mean they caught fire and went on to big things like caught fire. You mean the vans burned.
We watched bumpers melt. One of them was still smoking like a week later.
And we almost lost some bands that way.
Oh, yeah. Hotel rooms, venues, lots of fire along our path. It's sad, really.
Oh, there has been a lot of sadness. It follows us around like a stray dog, like we have meat. We have steaks stuffed into our cuffs, and the sad stray dog just follows us around.
Yeah, everywhere.
But here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What would you like to talk about next?
What it is we do,
Yeah.
right? What it is we've done and what it is we may or may not continue to do or done.
Fist folking. I would like to talk about an album called Fist Folking by a band we once managed called the Fist Folkers.
Okay, that's it for the first show. I'm so glad you're here in real time or anytime afterwards, because this video is going to be locked up there free of charge forever for everybody. For as long as possible. As long as YouTube continues to exist. Which I think could be a very long time. But maybe not.